Hey, welcome back. Today we're going to dig into two of the most famous prayers in Scripture. Prayers you probably think you know inside and out. But we're going to uncover a powerful, world-changing challenge that's hiding in a single, tiny word that most of us just glanced right over. Let's dive in.
You're not going to believe this, but it's a totally true story. Back in 1872, a law was supposed to tax imported fruit, but let fruit plants, like little saplings, come in tax-free. Well, a misprint stuck a comma right between fruit and plants. So for a while, both fruit and plants were coming into the country tax-free. That one little piece of punctuation ended up costing the government millions upon millions of dollars.
It really makes you think, right? I mean, if a stray comma can accidentally rewrite economic policy, what happens when we apply that same level of focus to the words we use in prayer? What kind of power is hiding in plain sight in a prayer we could probably recite in our sleep?
To figure this out, we're going to put two spiritual heavyweights side by side, the beautiful, comforting words of Psalm 23 and the prayer Jesus himself taught his followers, the Lord's Prayer. Now, on the surface, they feel pretty different, but it turns out they share a really surprising and incredibly important connection.
Okay, so look at this. The difference is immediate. Psalm 23 is so personal, so individual. The Lord is my shepherd. He restores my soul. My cup overflows. It's all about a one-on-one relationship with God. But then, bam, the Lord's Prayer hits you with this massive shift right from the get-go, Our Father. From the very first word, the camera pulls back from me to we. So what's the big connection between these two? Well, believe it or not, right in the middle of both of them, there's a meal. Psalm 23 talks about, "You prepare a table before me." And of course, the Lord's Prayer has that famous line asking for our daily bread. This shared picture of a meal, of sustenance, is the key that unlocks everything. All right, let's zoom in on that prayer for a meal because it contains the one word that really does change everything. It's a line so many of us say on autopilot, We just say it without ever really stopping to feel its incredible weight.
This simple, humble request, give us this day our daily bread. It's this profound statement that we depend on God for our very survival. But here's the thing, the most radical part of this prayer isn't what we're asking for, it's who we're including when we ask.
And this is it. This is the absolute heart of the matter. Those two tiny words, us and our. These are not just grammatical choices. They are a complete reorientation of how we're supposed to see the world. The prayer is intentionally, powerfully, and radically collective.
So who exactly is us? I mean, when Jesus was asked to define who our neighbor is, he told a story that basically blew the definition wide open. Your neighbor is everyone, every single person. Not just the people in your family or your church or your country. Everyone who isn't you.
And that one word, us, completely flips the script. You're not just praying for your own needs anymore. You are praying for the survival of every single person on the planet. You're essentially saying, God, please make sure I have enough, but also make sure my neighbor has enough, my enemy has enough, the stranger has enough. It becomes this prayer for universal flourishing. But here's where it gets really challenging. This prayer isn't just wishful thinking. Think about the line right before it. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth. So praying for us isn't passive. It's a commitment. It's signing up to be part of the answer, to help make God's will a reality right here, right now.
So what does that mission even look like? Well, Jesus gave us the blueprint himself. In his very first public sermon, he stood up and basically gave his mission statement, making it crystal clear what God's will on earth actually involves. When you break it down, the mission is about real, tangible action. It's about caring for the most vulnerable people around us, the poor, the captive, the oppressed. So if this was Jesus' mission, and we are praying for his will to be done on earth, well then this has to become our mission too, right? And all of this brings us to a really powerful, maybe even uncomfortable conclusion. If we take this prayer and this mission seriously, it forces us to take a hard look at our own priorities and our allegiances in the real world.
This quote just cuts through all the noise, doesn't it? It basically says that these core actions, caring for the hungry, loving our neighbor, they aren't political platforms, they're not labels, they are direct quotes from the very person we claim to follow. This call to action just completely transcends our modern political boxes.
And that's the radical takeaway, isn't it? To truly pray, Our Father, is a profound declaration of allegiance.
It means that if our politics, our nationality, or our personal views ever conflict with the mission of Jesus to care for all people, our primary loyalty has to be to that mission. Everything else has to come second.
So we're not going to end with a neat little answer. We're going to end with a question for you. The next time you pray, "Give us this day our daily bread," what is that really going to mean? This prayer invites us to do the really hard work of looking inward and asking ourselves, what have I put on the throne of my heart? Is there any allegiance, any belief that has taken the place where only this radical, all-inclusive mission for us belongs?